this is V with C News, and I'm bringing you a very special guest tonight. I'm here with Melvin Seals and the JGB. We're backstage at Fairfield Theatre, Stage 1 in Fairfield, Connecticut. Melvin Seals, it's such an honor and a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure also.
Tell me a little bit about how you got started with the whole Jerry Garcia band.
Well, that's a pretty interesting story. I could go on all day, but I'll give you the short version of it because it's kind of humorous in a way.
Okay.
You know, I grew up playing in the church. Father was a musician in the church and a choir director, and so most of my professional life was still playing a lot of gospel music and producing gospel music. And so I did a little work with Maria Modawer, which was John Cahn's boyfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so I met John Cahn, and he said, hey man, you know, I have another band that we play in. Would you be interested in check it out sometime? And I said, yeah. So he gave me a call one day and told me where to meet them. Now, the story you got to remember, I'm in church every Sunday.
Right.
You know, and so I'm a very religious guy.
Right.
And so being on time for this rehearsal to make a good impression, I was one of the first persons there.
Okay.
And so the people that kind of keeps the warehouse open the door for me, and I walk in. And the first thing I saw is skeletons, logos all over the place. Now, mind you, I'm not a deadhead. I didn't know anything about the Grateful Dead.
Right,
So that I'm walking in and I'm looking at a skeleton with a rose in his head, a skeleton with a violin in his hand, and I'm looking at what is, I'm not going to say the rest of that, it's all about, you know, because I didn't know, you know.
Right.
And well, you know, so anyhow, the rehearsal, it goes on.
Okay.
Jerry comes in. At the time, I didn't know who Jerry was. With about 5 other people, the rest of the band came in at one time.
Okay.
And you know how you meet people, but you don't really get the name. It's like, hey, I'm John Cahn. Hey, I'm Jerry. Hey, I'm Steve. You know, about 6 people introduce themselves. And I say, hey, I'm Melvin. You know, so I met them all, but I didn't remember none of them. So the guy on the guitar said, hey, let's go over a couple of songs. And we go into the room and played, I think, How Sweet It Is,
Yeah, I love that song.
Second That Emotion,
Okay.
and Harder They Come. And then the guy on the guitar says, take a break.
Yeah.
They all disappear in the individual rooms. I don't know what that's all about. So I'm sitting in the lobby, and then after 10 minutes, they all come back and, hey, this guy was great, it was great. You know, and so I say to the guy, you know, you got to understand, because I don't know who they are. You play some pretty good guitar.
Right.
And everybody's laughing because they know I don't have a clue who he is and what's going on.
I gotcha.
And so he's got a guitar, which is Jerry, says, you play some pretty good organ. You know? And so it went on that I was the guy that they were looking for, and I was hired at that.
Wonderful.
At that.
And the rest is history, shall we say?
History,
You played for 18 years with Jerry Garcia.
18 years. I played from that point on. I was fortunate to play for his last wedding when he got married to Deborah, and I also played at his funeral.
Wow.
One of the only musicians that played at his funeral.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was an honor of mine. I saw an interview with Jerry, and I can't remember the reporter's name, but it was filmed, and they were interviewing Jerry, and it was a lady, and she asked him, well, in a kind of nice kind of way, what do you think will happen when you're no longer here? And I remember specifically Jerry saying, I'd like to believe the music would live on past me, and the music would go on.
Right.
And so when he passed, and you know, a little time went by, the Grateful Dead had a big meeting, and the first thing started happening, they decided, well, we're not going to work anymore. And other different organizations with Jerry that was shutting down. I said, well, you know, I'm thinking, he said, I'd like to believe the music would go on.
Right,
you know?
right.
So immediately I made a few phone calls and to say, can we still do this?
Yeah.
You know, Of course, there was legal issues at the time
Sure.
because there was a whole lot of that flying around.
Sure.
But fortunately, the name JGB was not owned by any of those.
Sure.
Actually, JGB was owned by a blind organization out here in New York.
Okay.
So to make it a music organization in San Francisco, I was able to do that. So I put my name in front of it just so folks would know, okay, we're not trying to take the Jerry Garcia
Sure.
band, but it's kind of a new thing now,
Sure.
honoring him. you
Yeah.
know. And so we were able to secure that so we wouldn't get in trouble. And we went out and did some shows, and they were immediately successful. There were folks that did, they were still too hurt to see it, and there were those that just welcomed it.
Right.
But I just remember the reporter that spoke with Jerry, and he said, "I like to believe the music will live on way past me."
We're so lucky you did. We are so lucky you have a wonderful band tonight. You've got two singers, Cheryl and Shirley, who I've heard before, and they both are fantastic.
Unbelievable.
And you have a drummer, and tell me about some of the other players
Well,
who are with
like
you
I said,
tonight.
we have Shirley doing vocals. We have Peter Lavazzoli on drums.
That's right.
We have a new bass player, John Paul McLean.
Okay.
This is his second tour with us.
Terrific.
Dave Hebert, you go by,
Oh,
but we
that's
call
right.
him Dave Hebert.
That's right. I
Yeah,
remember him.
on doing the Jerry slide.
Okay, terrific.
And I think collectively we all come together and make it work.
Melvin, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with C News. And we are just huge fans of yours, and we're thrilled to be here, and thank you so much
Thank you. I must
for
say
your
one
music.
thing.
Yeah.
C News rock.
Woo!